Hola corazón, ¿cómo estás? Thank you so much for being here with me today. I hope you're doing well. Today's conversation is childhood. If you like today's topic or like me and like to support me, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and share your thoughts. I would love to know what you have to say in the comments. So let's begin. Childhood. This is a very jam packed thing to talk about. So we can start anywhere. Basically, your childhood really has a big impact on who you are as a person. Going into psychology, the terms that they use is nature versus nurture. Um, so I feel like that's like a subject. I feel like that's the nurture part. Your childhood is like how you were nurtured, and that is so huge in who you are. And I want to get into the importance of our childhood in our lives as humans. So, yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe that in the term nurture is the part that we're talking about. So basically, how you were brought up, your upbringing, how was your life in your childhood. And for some people, this is not easy to reflect on. If you've had a bad or rough childhood, it can really show up in your life, and it can affect you. So this is huge because a lot of, I guess, a lot of inner work and healing can come from us looking at our childhood and healing these wounds and just observing, because it's really like it's super serious. It really is. As children, we don't have an analytical critical mind. As children, our mind is open to everything in our environment. We pick up on everything, and yeah, like we don't know the ways of the world. So how we were nurtured, how we were brought up is our first introduction of the world, and it can heavily impact your perspective, how you view the world, how you show up in the world. Seriously, this is real stuff. So, and as you can tell, I'm very passionate about this. But yes, healing our childhood and looking at our childhood can give you a lot of information about people, about why they are the way that they are, but it also gives us hope because I firmly do believe that every human being, every soul, technically, like it really, we're just children. We're just children, we're playing, and even if you're 50s, if you're in your 50s, you have a special part of you, a soul that doesn't age, that is youthful, forever vibrant. And I feel like kids embody that energy so well all the time because they're closest to like God's source. But you know, the source, oneness, the universe, because of their age. But like also, where am I going with this? Yeah, I don't know. I just lost track now. Yeah, like older people, I feel like will get more serious the older that they get, and it's like you don't have to be that serious. It really is not that deep. Like loosen up a little bit. Um, and yeah, like I don't know. I think kids in general, and this whole there's an energy, a youthful, playful energy to life that we can have. That this can be normal for us, but lots of people get bogged down by society, by their whole life, essentially, by their whole life, and they just become like a robot of some sort, like yeah, it really is the best way I can describe it. They become a robot whether or not they realize it. Um, and I'm just talking about people who are not fully conscious. And I feel like kids are very, very aware whether or not they know it. They're not very skilled in the ways of the world, this 3D world, but I swear they are very intelligent. Okay, kids are very intelligent if you can teach them well, if you can bring them up well, and you know support them and give them resources, then that is huge. Seriously, it is huge, and it can change lives. It can change that person, that child, when they grow up. They can be in a completely different space. um, I don't know, they can just experience different things because of the opportunities that were granted to them in their childhood, and what happened to their childhood would literally shape who they are as a person later in their life. We repeat the same patterns in our life. We do. So if we see a family situation, right, if that's all we're exposed to, that might be normal for us. So that's what we're comfortable with. It's what we feel warm with. So that's what we gravitate towards, right? And yeah, like people really need to emphasize. I swear, like in childhood, like it is a beautiful thing to be alive and like have children and all of this stuff. And understanding that no one is perfect, no one is perfect. So, whatever happened to you in your childhood, it's no one else's fault. It probably is no one else's fault. And yes, it feels good to blame people and whatever, but the reality is it happened. It is what it is. Your childhood happened. It is what it is. Are you going to go back in time and fix it? You most likely don't have a time machine, if I'm being honest. So the best thing that we can do right here is reflect on our childhood, see the patterns, look at them, analyze them, and move accordingly. That is my best piece of advice. Seriously, like there are just some things, and lots of people are not conscious enough to. That's what I genuinely think. Sometimes I feel like I'm talking too bluntly or like harshly, but this is. I'm just gonna stop filtering myself. Like how it comes out is how it comes out. Sorry, y'all. Like I can't keep trying to accommodate people and shit like that. Like how it comes out is how it comes out, and if I say something wrong in the moment, then afterwards I will apologize. But in the moment, what I'm trying to get across is this, and so this is the only way I can do it as succinctly without like repeating myself and shit. Yeah, and something like I don't want to like offend people by the way that I speak, because I know that I can speak very passionately, and I'm not trying to make you guys think the way that I think, but this is literally just something that I'm passionate about. So which is why it comes off the way that it does, essentially. Because yeah. See, gamers, well, let's keep going, man. Yeah, so childhood, very important. And this is not something to take lightly. Like your childhood, whether it's good or bad, we can all learn from it. There are experiences that shape us. And what we experience when we are growing up, that influences our worldview. Like it's just so fucking insane how true that is. If you grow up with a poor money mindset, you most likely will continue to have that poor money mindset until you do something with that, until you decide to improve, and then you start working on improving that mindset. But seriously, like this shit is real. It really is. The things that happen to you in your childhood, if you can't get over them, if you can't heal them or whatever, it will carry with you the rest of your life. So really unloading it, accepting it for what it is, I think is honestly the first part. And I think that's the first part to a lot of, steps in life. Like AA, I think the first part is like admitting you have a problem. So like acceptance, that's what I'm getting at. Like accept your childhood for what it is, good, bad, whatever, mediocre, neutral. You don't even need labels, just like, okay, I've come to peace with it. I can't change it, but I don't want that to happen again, especially if there are things that have happened to you in your childhood. You need to realize what these patterns are so that you can move accordingly, or else you're going to continue to feel that same pain because you don't know how to break out of the cycle. Okay, so yeah, and it's something that we have to exercise, and it's not like, oh, today is Wednesday and I'm waking up and I realize I have to work on my inner child and my childhood stuff today, right? So I realize it is what it is. I can't change it. Tomorrow on Thursday, I will wake up healed. It's not like that. No, it really is not like that. It takes effort. It really does, because you will be tested. Y'all, I really feel like I have been tested by the universe lately. Like deep shit. Like I really feel like they're testing me, and I can't put it any other way than like they are looking at me. I really feel like I am being tested. The universe is giving me a scenario, and I'm in the scenario, and they're like, two different ways. You have the old way of doing your life, and then you have your new paradigm. That's what I feel like this is. This is a really like a paradigm shift test for me. Like in my life right now, like today, oh my God, it was really a paradigm shift test. Like the angels are watching, people, my support system is watching. And I'm not saying that to be like creepy, but it's like I know you guys are fucking watching, yo, because how I view it. Okay, we just go talk about everything, right? Like I always do this. Sorry, y'all. Thanks for following me. Thanks for keeping up with me. I appreciate you. So let me continue. So yeah, I feel like a paradigm shift test is taking place as of June 2nd, 2022. Like it really feels like a test of some sort. Where I have learned different tools to improve my life, right? To stand up for myself, and I'm like going through these lessons, and I have to apply. Like there's an old way, there's the old paradigm, how I would handle that, and then there's the new paradigm that I am actively striving for, right? And I'm being put in a situation where they're testing me. Like I'm being put in a situation like, what would the old Elise do this, or would the new Elise do this? Would the old soul do this, or the new soul do this? The new soul wants to do this, so I have to act accordingly, and it's very difficult. Like everything inside of me is just like nervous. I'm getting nervous for like this test and being tested. Like seriously, and I probably sound like really crazy right now, but I that's literally the best way I can describe it. I seriously feel like this moment, this place in time right now, I am asked to perform to the best of my ability. And it's like a pass or fail thing. Am I going to pass and continue to the new paradigm, or am I going to fail and go back into the old paradigm? So yeah, seriously, that's literally the best way that I can describe it. And the thing is, if you don't know, if you don't have any tools, if you don't have any resources, right? If you don't have any help, if you don't have any information, if you're clueless and you want to stay clueless, the old paradigm is going to be your day-to-day boring, probably miserable life, repeating the same lessons over and over and over and over again until you get it. That's the thing. That's the thing about life. You will not move on until you mastered a lesson. You can fail as many times as you want. It's not going to change until you wake up and decide to pass. Pass or fail, baby. Pass or fail life. And that's the thing. Like, lots of people are repeating the same things over and over and over again, and doing something over and over and over again and expecting results, different results. Insanity. Insanity, according to Albert Einstein, is doing something over and over again and expecting different results. It's not going to happen. You have to do something new. You have to get outside of the box, seriously. And yeah, I think childhood, bringing our childhood into this is very important, because even though our child influences who we become, it's not all that we are. So the childhood is our old paradigm, right? It's what we've been through. It's everything that has influenced us. It's who we are right here, right now in the moment, I guess, but have been for the past years. It's that accumulation of years of past, of ourself, right, that we think of. And then we have a new paradigm, which is what we can envision in our imagination, what we see in our head, what we actively desire. And that's our new paradigm. But it looks completely different. It looks completely different from the old paradigm. And what I'm thinking is that, like, you can heal from what you've been through, your childhood, your past. You can heal from it and you're passing. Or you can stay stuck in those cycles and keep repeating the same lessons over and over and over again. The same lessons that you experience since you first got into this world will continue to be presented to you until you learn how to move from it. And the only thing that I can say is your environment helps you so much. Childhood, okay? So the people that you surround yourself with, how you are getting nurtured is so important. It really is valuable. the more that I am experiencing life and meeting new people, it still baffles my mind how differently people are raised. And I think it's fascinating. I genuinely think like culture is fascinating, and families and dynamics of people and how these dynamics work and all social exchanges, like it is very intriguing to me. But also having this knowledge of like our conscious mind, our subconscious mind, our self-image, and all of these things, and seeing how people operate, it I see life through a different lens. Like I seriously do, and it's not rose-colored glasses. Like I see shit for what it is. Um, and it's true. Like sometimes I may not always see it for what it is, but for the most part, when I look at people, I can read them very well. I can read people very well, their posture, how they speak, their eye contact. All of these things will give you insight about who they are. You know, posture, shoulders hunched. This is probably like insecure, not feeling safe, right? That's the general gist. Eye contact, darting, you're not that confident. If you're constantly darting or you don't know how to make eye contact, you're maybe a little bit nervous. What are the language? What is the language that they are using? How do they sound? Are they continuing? Do they always say things like, "Oh, I can't. I'm so broke." Boom. That's fucking evidence right there. That's how do they carry themselves will show you a lot how they view themselves. Okay? So, how people were raised, big, 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 big. The experiences, okay? It really makes people. And I'm not saying that everything in your childhood had to be golly and happy. Mine for sure wasn't. I had to learn different lessons. And I'll go into these lessons. Like for me, growing up in childhood, lack poverty mindset, okay? In general, I was surrounded by that a lot because my parents they work. Okay, they're still working. My parents work really fucking hard and they have all their life. So I've been surrounded with the idea of save, save, save. There's not enough money. Save, 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 save. We need money and I have to work. And like that whole grind, grind, grind mentality, like that is something that I've had to look at from my present self, had to look at my past self and do some healing with that. Really look at that, take it for what it is, and work on it within myself. Another thing was I didn't know how to speak up for myself. I don't know what it was exactly, but I genuinely, like, this is a present lesson that I'm going through, that I am being tested on, that I did not know how to speak up for myself. I didn't have a voice. And so doing this right here, right now is really incredible for me because I'm healing. I am healing my inner child who couldn't stand up for herself. And so that's really touching. And I'm really proud. I really am. Because it's not easy what this shit can do to you. Like, yes, you see this, you see the exterior, but like the inside of me, it's different. It really is. So being able to like, I don't even know, like see my life through a different lens and be like, that was baby me, and that's okay that was baby me, and it is what it is. But I know that I need better, I want better, I strive for better, I am better, I'm doing better, and that's what changes you. Like that fucking drive, when you have that drive, no one else can take it away from you. No one. Doesn't matter who they are or what they say, no one can take that drive away from you when you strive for better. Because it's just you against you. It's just you against you. And no one knows what the fuck you're going through. And they can't know. If they had to know, then they would be going through it. But they can't know. This is a you versus you journey. This is the old you paradigm, and this is the new you paradigm. Being tested is real. Are you going to fall into old cycles again? Are you going to fall? You are being tested. Pass or fail. You want to stay stuck? Then stay stuck in that cycle. Repeat it over and over again. It's going to hurt really fucking bad. I can tell you that. It's going to hurt really fucking bad if you don't know how to heal. If you don't move past it. It's going to make you miserable, obviously. Like, I know this. I know this. It just is. It will. Like, and some people, all right, maybe I'll say that for myself. Like, it would make me miserable if I failed and got stuck in that fucking cycle. Like, I don't want to be someone who can't stick up for themselves. Okay? Also in my childhood, I was always called the sensitive child, the crybaby. This is healing that I'm doing within myself at the present moment to allow myself to feel how I feel any way that I do. And that's why also, like, when I get passionate on here, like, it's very obvious and I'm not hiding it, but I had to. I felt like younger me had to hide that part of myself, like, because I was being told I was too sensitive and a crybaby. Like, I was being told that I was wrong. You know what I mean? So, like, that's also another lesson that I'm going through. And I've, on the way, have picked up tools because I've developed this passion. It really is a passion for wanting to do better, for wanting to be better. So when you have that thing, that passion inside of you, seriously, and this is very intrinsically motivated. It's extremely intrinsically motivated. I think that's the right word or phrase to use. But yeah, like when you are very motivated by yourself, and you have your own intentions and goals, and you have this fire burning in you, no one can stop you. No one can stop you. And your journey is just for you. It doesn't matter what they have to say. It doesn't matter what they are doing. It's you who is on this path. So if you have the desire to get better and you have good intentions and you have goals, then you are going to follow what feels good. All right, that's what I'm doing. I just follow what feels good, and I'm following the breadcrumbs, and I'm looking at the signs, and it feels confusing. It does. I'm like, what am I doing here? What is happening? How did I get here? And all this stuff. But you gotta go with it. You gotta go with it, and whatever life presents to you in that moment, you gotta act accordingly. Old paradigm versus new. Okay, I'm checking the time. Ooh, yeah. And now I'm replying to messages, sorry. Yes. Okay. I also, like, recently, I've just been isolated, like, in my own cocoon. I love my cocoon. I love my space. I love my me. I do. I need that. I've just realized that I need my alone time. And now I value it so much more because I didn't always want this. Like, I didn't always want to be alone. So that's something else that I'm healing from my childhood. Like, abandonment issues and commitment issues. These are showing up in my life, and it's just, god damn, at times it's very overwhelming. Because it's very easy to slip and fall into the old paradigm and what I'm used to and what feels comfortable, because yeah, no. Like, I was also very desperate in my childhood, wanted a lot of attention and stuff like that, because my parents worked so much that they didn't give me, I guess, maybe enough attention during the week that I don't know, like, there is this need for attention. I want it. I like that. I like quality time. I like physical touch. Those are the ways that I bond for my love languages. So that is something, like, being desperate and needy is something that I'm healing through relationships as well. And I'm being presented with different circumstances. Like, in my love life currently, I am being presented with, oh, are you going to fall into the old trap of being desperate and needy? Or are you going to take this path? And it is very tempting. It is very, very, very tempting. But I just sit back, I relax, and I just let it happen. I just let the world do its thing at this point. I'm just like, okay, y'all, what's next? But yeah, standing up for myself is a big life lesson that I had to go through. I'm basically activating my throat chakra and being okay with it. Speaking my truth and demanding that. Like, I have always been a giver. I want to say, like, I feel like I just give very naturally. And so being able to exercise my voice setting boundaries is so huge, because when you are a giver, people will take. People will take. And I was one who loved to give my love. I want to give you my love. But at what expense? What's the expense? My sanity? My emotional well-being? I want to give you my love and I love you so much, but you don't make me feel good all the time. You don't. I feel confused. It's like a roller coaster of emotions, but I love you. But it's a roller coaster of emotions, and I don't feel like 110% safe. Like, I'm not like guaranteed my safety. Like, on edge a bit. Have you been like that? Have you been in that situation? I have. So, that's a different story, right? That is a different paradigm. Being okay with how people treated me just because I wanted their love and attention? No. Not anymore. No, thank you. We say bye. We say goodbye. You can keep that. Keep your love. Because I've learned tools and tricks to protect myself. I can see things differently because I've educated myself. Your childhood, okay? The different opportunities that are presented to you when you grow up, as you are growing up, huge. My parents, I'm so grateful for them. Like, seriously, I wouldn't be here for them without them right now, I guess. If it weren't for them, I wouldn't be here, right now. Like, obviously, like, they're my parents. They did the thing, and here I am. But the thing is that I genuinely had a beautiful childhood. Now that this person right here is saying that, maybe at the time I didn't think that way when I was younger, but here I am, and I can look at my parents and I say they did their best. I know they did, and this is the result of it, and I'm going to act accordingly. Like, I was gifted a lot of opportunities compared to other people, and we didn't have money. We did not have money like that. We had desire. And desire and motivation and inspiration and a vision will drive that bitch. It will put fuel. You will go on E just because of what I just said. Seriously. And that is huge. And I grew up with that. Like, even if things were hard, you keep going. You keep going. You're not going to whine. You're not going to complain like that. You keep going